On my mission to figure out where Hans Frank sits in Hitler's hierarchy of evil, I've come to the home of author Alexandra Zubrotko-Janicka. She's written extensively on Polish women and daily life under the German occupation.
Right, so I just ladle beans in here?
We have to process them to mousse.
I'm here to learn how Poles resisted Frank's brutal regime on the home front.
But be careful for your fingers.
I will. I'll try not to grind anything off.
We're baking a cake with the same limited ingredients Poles had in the war, when food was strictly rationed by the Germans.
And so they could grow the beans themselves. So it was very efficient to cook with beans.
Gardening was very popular because everyone tried to grow veggies to eat them. Starvation was a huge problem.
The Nazi policy of rationing food during the occupation of Poland was really a policy of starvation. It was a policy of genocide carried out through starvation, and it wasn't carried out equally.
Using a food rationing system, the Nazis set out to starve the Poles. Non-Jews were given just enough food to keep them in chains. The Jews got the very worst of it. Their allotment of food wouldn't keep them alive for long.
How many ingredients go into the cake?
Just 3.
Just 3 ingredients?
Yes.
Why so few?
During wartime, there was a real struggle to get some elaborate ingredients.
Life under Hans Frank became one long fight for survival. At harvest time, German troops went to the countryside to steal crops for export to Germany. Peasants were shot for not fulfilling their quota. The Poles turned to the black market to stay alive. They grew vegetables in secret or raised livestock in locations hidden from the Germans.
People have an innate instinct to survive. In life and death situations, people may be willing to do things that they wouldn't normally be comfortable doing, things that may go against their moral code.
So by making a cake like this, it's not only part of surviving, it's also part of resisting.
Exactly. Thanks to Polish women who really smuggling those banned produce, people can eat, people can resist. So we have to mix egg yolks with our sweetener.
Okay.
We have to put our beans into the mix.
So you're using the whole of the egg, you're using both the yolks and the whites.
Nothing could go to waste. Even breadcrumbs were used.
How am I looking?
Better.
Better?
Yeah.
Under Frank's repressive regime, Polish women risked their lives to feed their families.
And what would happen if they were caught with ingredients that were banned?
I'll show you. Here we have just a little piece of pork fat.
Yep.
For that thing, I would go to Treblinka camp.
You go to a death camp
Yes.
for just having pork fat.
It was banned. Pork fat or having unregistered porks,
Yeah.
that was a capital offense.
So it was a death sentence to be found with something like this in your possession.
Yes, there are many examples of people that were taken out of a train and killed next to train, just on the side.
Wow.
It was awful, it was scary, but Poles always find a way.
The only way that Poles could survive the harsh rationing imposed by Hans Frank was to rely on very creative strategies, usually devised by Polish women, to subvert and undercut the rationing system. This involved the black market, this involved smuggling. This was the only way for anyone to survive the forced starvation.
That looks great. Look at that.
It looks almost like sponge cake.
It does. I have to say, I've never had white bean cake before. This is like... That's really good. I can't believe this is just 3 major ingredients.
Polish wartime cookery books are full of recipes like that.